Hello everyone, it's me. So if you're at all active in RMH, you have by no doubt seen the recent situation surrounding Taishen 27. I just want to make this little video to give my take and my thoughts on everything, kind of like I did with the Kazdam situation. I'm not just trying to cash in on a trendy thing now, because that is a disgusting and deplorable thing to do, but I feel like I have a little personal stake in this because I was not leading the charge, but I caused the charge of him unraveling on Twitter. So, before we begin, let's get one thing perfectly, absolutely clear. Taishen has displayed predatory behavior and a disregard for people's comfort. So with that, let's begin. So the story of this behavior begins in around 2019 or 2020, and the most notable case at this time was his harassment of a fairly well-known RMH member, Yush. And as you can see from the screenshot, it is very extremely and needlessly sexually charged. And this was prior to RMH's soft ban on NSFW topics, so at the time it was not technically against the rules, it was just rather creepy. Another highlight from this time is when he shut down an official RMH game to go on an in-game date with a female RMH member that we did not identify at the time and have not been able to in the meantime. So this next section is based on content from a slideshow that was private for a while but then officially released. And in this slideshow, we can see a very clear trend of Taishen desiring an e-relationship and going in the DMs of every suitable, quote, candidate that he thought was possible and he might have a chance with. A lot of it is this sort of soft boy act, which we know is kind of a betrayal of the sexually charged things he has done in the past. But yet he still puts this at the forefront. He kind of adopts the simp thing that was lumped on him when he first entered RMH and began this behavior. And we also uncover a rather creepy desire for a pet type relationship. He keeps referring to young girls as cats and that he wants to pat them. Now, normally this would just be kind of a weird quirk, but given what we know, this is very concerning and very, very creepy. So this next section is based on the worst of Taishen, and that is his interactions with Triss. Before I get into this, I just want to make it clear, Triss willingly gave up these screenshots and gave her express permission for me to use them. These are not taken for any malicious intent. I feel like it is just useful to know just how he acts. So in this screenshot we see a very clear-cut example of the whole soft boy act, then contrasting with very aggressively sexual behavior. Saying good night and then a cute little emoji, and then telling Triss to spread her legs, which I should not need to point out to you that that is not okay and that is wrong. And then he backpedals as a way to save face. And then another screenshot where he refers to Triss as Kitty. So I could go on and on, but to cut to the chase, it is more creepy behavior, more weirdly sexual innuendos and everything in between, and very predatory behavior. And given the fact that he has done this to so many people, and the number of people he has done it to grows, each day goes past, is very, very concerning. So just to recap everything we know now, Taishen is a guy who wants an e-relationship. He has this weird cat fetish where he wants to pat them and treat them like his kitty. And he has very aggressive sexual intents in some case. And it's very possible that with the other victims, he just did not get the chance to bring it to the conversation. So just keep all of that in mind as we watch Taishen completely unravel on Twitter during an argument. So at this point, it gets much worse. This is what followed after I made a joking, kind of bad taste tweet about Taishen and his predatory behavior. And not 2 hours after I posted the tweet, the Twitter account Dama305 was created and began a campaign to end my cyberbullying and call me out as a pedophile. Now, timing alone should tell you that this is most likely Taishen or a goon hired by Taishen. But all this ended up doing was making things much, much worse for him. Because if this is Taishen, it gives us a little insight into some very, very concerning behavior. And this behavior is, put simply, victim blaming. He blames 13-year-olds for being on the internet for the reason behind the harassment. His thoughts is that they shouldn't be on the internet if they don't want to get harassed. He compares it to a fox hunting a chicken, and that it is not the fox's fault to eat the chicken, and the chicken should have expected to get eaten. This, put quite simply, is fucking horrifying. It is a very dangerous and very wrong mindset. And if this is the one he has adopted, we should be afraid of what he might do if he does not fix himself. During this Twitter argument, he also began lashing out at people, dropping his cutesy demeanor, and referring to people as whores and pedophiles. Despite having no evidence of pedophilia, other than me calling Taishen a predator, and a very weird comment about how I need to go play sports because I'm too skinny. Which I have no fucking idea why he thought that would add to his argument. But the main takeaway from this Twitter is that he has a very dangerous and flawed mindset. And that if he does not fix it, things will get much, much worse. And Taishen, if somehow, some way you are watching this, I just want to let you know I have lost any respect I had for you. Nobody else should have respect for you either after the behavior you displayed. I can't tell if it's more pathetic or not that you made the account or you got your friend to make the account just to make false claims and reinforce a very flawed and dangerous mindset. I do not put it lightly when I say you should be ashamed of what you did, and you need to fix it immediately, or it is a very dark path ahead for you, and things will only get worse. If you want even a chance of coming back to this community that I assume you care about, you need to fix yourself. You need to drop all this bullshit. You need to apologize. You need to stop denying and apologize for the wrong you did. And I hold it to everyone else watching this. Do not let this be dropped. Do not let it be swept under the rug. You have not a duty, but for the right of people, for the safety of people to not get harassed, you have an obligation to hold this above him. Do not let him slip away and come back quietly and put up his cutesy shit again, because we will remember. I don't want to get too heated as I did there at the end, but please take my words to heart. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
I miss your game.